Harper Audio presents Hostile Takeover, Resisting Centralized Government's Stranglehold on America, by Matt Kibbe. Read by George Newbern.
For Terry, you saw more in me than was readily apparent. You are everything. Their motto is, "Don't tread on me." From Uncle John's Band by Jerry Garcia and Robert Hunter. Prologue, The Hostile Takeover. Imagine a once successful enterprise long ago built on the principles of hard work, growth, and innovation, that has grown arrogant, fat, and happy from earlier successes. Achievement, once sought out, strived for, rewarded, is now assumed as given. But there are telltale signs of trouble. Expenditures are skyrocketing even in the face of declining revenues. Debt servicing now dominates the company's balance sheet. Leadership has been replaced with a stultifying bureaucracy, and hard work has given way to cynicism and complacency amongst the rank and file. Customers no longer want what senior management is selling. There was a time when things were good. The customer is always right was the mantra that drove the corporate culture, and the CEO and senior managers vigilantly guarded against unnecessary spending, any hint of waste, or any deviation from the core mission of the enterprise. But now continued success is treated as a birthright, and innovation has been replaced with an aggressive sales pitch for tired ideas and bad products that customers just don't want. It's a story that plays out time and again in the life cycle of a business. Over time, innovators are replaced by bureaucrats, and future managers lose sight of the values and principles that made the venture strong in the first place. As Apple founder Steve Jobs describes it in one of his last interviews, companies often lose their purpose and fail because producers who had a keen sense for innovation and the drive to constantly create value for customers are eventually replaced by salesmen simply intent on moving product and collecting new revenue. I have my own theory about why decline happens at companies like IBM or Microsoft, Jobs tells Walter Isaacson. The company does a great job, innovates and becomes a monopoly or close to it in some field, and then the quality of the product becomes less important. The company starts valuing the great salesmen because they're the ones who can move the needle on revenues, not the product engineers and designers. So, says Jobs, the salespeople end up running the company. John Ackers at IBM was a smart, eloquent, fantastic salesperson, but he didn't know anything about product. The same thing happened at Xerox. When the sales guys run the company, the product guys don't matter so much, and a lot of them just turn off. It happened at Apple when John Sculley came in, which was my fault, and it happened when Steve Ballmer took over at Microsoft. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? In America, our political management has failed us, attempting to replace founding principles with a slick sales pitch for tired, bad ideas. The American enterprise grew exceptional based on the bedrock foundations of individual freedom, decentralized knowledge, and accountable, constitutionally limited government. But our leaders in Washington, D.C. have systematically replaced the dispersed genius of America with top-down dictates and expensive schemes designed to expand the power of insiders and protect the privileged positions of politicians and bureaucrats. Senior management has failed us, and it's time to clean house. The American people know that it's time to shake up senior management, and as shareholders, we are acting swiftly to protect our interests and those of our children. But entrenched management, everywhere inside the Beltway, but particularly in the U.S. Senate and the West Wing of the White House, is circling the wagons. They don't want change. Solutions are being ignored and outsiders rebuffed. We know where our problems begin, and they begin in Washington, with a political elite that has neither the will nor the inclination to do what must be done. But we do, and so America needs to take over Washington. Blithely ignoring our entreaties, the powers that be in Washington say, "No thanks, we got this." Our shareholder proposal has been roundly rejected by the CEO and the board of directors. The microphone has been shut off. Name placards removed.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?